Well, hello all. Alright, in yesterday's video, or my last video, we talked about indoor urban gardening, or greenhouses in cities to grow food in. And they can be grown outdoors as well as indoors. The link down below to the last video. Now, I had a comment on this by Humanity. You can find it in the comment section at the link down below. And he was talking about how difficult it would be to really grow enough food in the cities to sustain anything. And I most definitely disagree with that. I happen to love engineering and inventing my own little things in my head and so on and so forth. So let's go over to the board and I'll show you the rest of the story. Okay, let's talk about yesterday we talked about the vertical greenhouses for growing fruits and vegetables in, and now I'm going to talk about the horizontal greenhouses. So this is inside of a huge building, which are what these are here. Now you could build apartment buildings on these, anything you wanted, packaging for fruit or vegetables, anything. These buildings also can be as many as 100 stories high. It doesn't matter because we have the ability to make things. So here we are on one floor in one of these buildings. Now we're going to take wheat for instance. Now this is a conveyor belt, much like an escalator that you find in malls and airports and that sort of thing, where they just run and run and run day after day, year after year. Same concept, just a big belt that runs and runs and runs. On the belt are connected these planting boxes. Now what you do at the beginning of the 4-month period, this takes 4 months to get from here to here. Very slow moving. Lighting is up top. Light comes down, turns the seeds into wheat. As time goes on, the wheat continues to grow. Then the water is shut off at a certain point, and then the wheat begins to dry out. As you can see, it dries out, and by the time it gets to the 4-month period, the wheat has the right amount of percentage, the moisture percentage in the wheat. As the container comes down, the wheat falls out or gets thrashed, and the wheat falls down here and is bagged and shipped off to different places, bread making, that kind of thing, which they may do right on top of the farm. It's all right there below you. Why not do it there? And so then you stack each one of these units on top of each other like this, floor after floor after floor. And before you know it, you have a continuous non-stop flow of wheat coming in. No matter what the weather, no matter what the hurricanes or the tornadoes, you could build these buildings so they could withstand just about anything. And that is how you take care of the vertical grass crops or grain crops. Now, as you can see, it's not complicated. Everything is already invented. There's nothing new here to invent. But this has such advantages. You do not have to take up valuable farmland by the millions of acres to grow this stuff. You can grow it in very small areas and produce a lot of wheat non-stop. And you could do this for barley or oats or anything else, a grass crop. Next we'll do trees, indoor tree crops such as walnuts, pecans, bananas, all that kind of stuff. That can be grown in the cities as well. You see, it's just real basic sense. All you have to do is do what humans do best, is think of how to fix things. And all these problems can be solved in just 1 year of construction. This could all be working, and it's mostly automated so that you don't have to spread a lot of disease into your crops. And it makes it so it's much easier to turn into a vegetarian and turn our farmlands back into natural area with forests and undergrowth and animals and everything that's supposed to be there. And that way the planet can cool itself down and we can heal ourselves. But it can't be done if we're all saying it can't be done. We have to do what humans do best, and that's figure things out and fix it and carry on and continue. It's really a lot more simple than you think. And look at all the fertilizer and herbicides that you don't use, the fossil fuel you don't use. There's so many advantages. of farming in the cities and urban areas versus out in the countryside, where you have to transport everything for hundreds of miles to get it to the cities. Plus you have to get the supplies to the farmers, and most of the supplies are manufactured in the cities. So it's backwards, where just a few years of construction and thinking could change it in just a matter of years, and starvation would be obliterated, because this system would work in space as well. If you had huge greenhouse ships in orbit around the sun, you could have day and night food production. We're just at the very beginning. We're at the Model T of this technology. We're barely even out of the box, and already we're finding out that we can grow quite a bit of food indoors with very little energy. Now we're going to have to figure out lighting. Even though LED lights are very efficient, we need much more efficiency so that we could use wind and solar to make the electricity that run the lights that grow the food. That would be fully and completely independent of the wild parts of the planet, and they could go back to being wild while we have the best food all the time available to us at a very cheap price. Alright guys, there you have it. Tomorrow, if I have time, I'll do the trees, because that one's a little bit more complicated. I definitely do appreciate all the last comments on my video, the ups, the downs, the new subscribers, and feel free to leave a comment on this video.